All right. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva. And I personally have never driven or rode with Lyft. I'm an Uber girl. But given everything that has happened with Uber, supporting these it was a pro-life, I don't know. Either way, I know that ended up costing them millions of dollars to donate, what was it, to the Planned Parenthood or ACLU or whatever. But anywho, so my friend had a day party today, and where I'm currently residing right now, it's right around the corner. And she was like, everybody who's coming, I would suggest y'all, take it. She said Lyft because parking's going to be terrible. And it was. And I was so glad that I followed that advice because there were like 2 or 3 parties on that block. Okay. So, I mean, everybody was getting it in the West Adams district. Okay. So I get in the Lyft driver comes. First, I'm not familiar with Lyft. I did it through the Facebook invite. And so I couldn't right away tell. So while I was waiting for him, I said, let me go ahead and download the app. Downloaded the app. It's some dude named Keith driving a Hyundai. I knew this was going to be a psychedelic ride when I got in because, first of all, I smelled a lot of incense. I said, he's a weed smoker. Okay, but that's okay. This is California. This is typical. I'm going to be all right. Next thing, he gives me the dab. Bop. Okay, because I was like, hey, how you doing? I just get in, fiddling with my phone. Next thing I know, he done started ministering to me in the most stream of conscious ministry I have ever heard in my life. Aside from the fact this dude I used to date in high school, that's kind of who he reminded me of. This fool told me that God had put him on earth to be a barber, and then proceeded to put his contact lenses on and tried to offer me a turkey leg. And I'm not talking about the kind you find at the State Fair of Texas. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. But anyways, I get in the car. And he was like, where are you right now? I said, I'm in a Lyft ride. And he said, no, well, what was the first word that you said? I was like, I'm here. I was like, what, in the present moment? I'm like, then I was like, he kept talking about, well, God, Jesus wants me. Jesus is justice. That's what justice is. And all my life I've been searching for peace and love. And I'm just like, why am I the person that you decide? And he had like a 4.9 rating. And y'all, I was too scared to give him anything less than the 5 and the 10 because I said, I don't want him to come back around here to my house trying to get my ass. Okay. It was bizarre. Like, who gets in a car and expects people to actively participate in the stream of conscious religious spiritual talk like that? It was so bizarre. And I was just like, God, please be with me on this Lyft ride. And he was telling me something about he had gotten involved with a woman that only wanted money, so that's why he was back out on the streets, and something about he had lost everything he had, but he was lifting folk up by driving for Lyft. I'm telling y'all, it was the bizarrest shit ever. I was like, God, my friend's house is only 5 miles away, like down the street around the corner. Can we hurry it up? So I'm trying to think what else happened on this ride. But I'm telling y'all, that was I said, now Lyft usually don't have any complaints, but I said, I ain't going to complain because, he saw where he picked me up from. So shit, I'm just going to be praying that I don't ever run into his crazy behind again because he was crazy. And then he wanted to share with me, I've been writing on these books since 2014. Y'all, he basically done copied scriptures from the Bible. I'm just like, well, good. That's good. You should write and repeat and meditate on the word daily. Amen. And I tried to tell him, I was like, I know Jesus. I know God. I grew up in the church. My dad's a minister. So I'm good. But you really couldn't get words in edgewise with him because I'm trying to have a conversation with this man and make it seem like it's seemingly normal, even though it was just bizarre. Okay? It was like, what the hell is going on? Did I just step into the 5th dimension? This makes no damn sense whatsoever. I'm trying to think what else weird stuff was he talking about. But yeah, he was saying something about how he had gotten involved with a woman and all she wanted was money. he had lost all he had, and I was like, I've been, I was trying to tell him, yeah, I've been exploring some other things too about my life, because he was asking me what was I up to, and da da da, and I'm telling him, I'm just kind of just taking some time to reset myself and all this stuff. And he was like, well, that's good, so that that's how the conversation got started. He was like, so that God can help work on you and da da da. I was like, yeah, I guess. I was like, I didn't even feel like it was a prophetic word or anything coming to me. I just felt like this dude got high. He hit some very good California weed, and now he is out here like Black Jesus. Okay, I don't know, but anyways, I was so glad when I did get ready to leave the party. I did go ahead and use Lyft again because I had free rides, so I didn't have to pay for anything today. But the girl that I got this next time, her name was Ariana. Oh, she was awesome. She was playing some dope music. I did not know that the new Drake was such a good mix of different genres of music, like bossa nova meets hip hop. I mean, that was pretty dope. Okay, so I told her, I said, girl, this was a much more pleasant ride than what I had when I was riding with the first dude. So God bless you and thank you, girl, because shit, I was scared hell. I didn't know if I was gonna make it to the backyard boogie or not. I didn't know what if Jesus, but I was praying like I did that time in high school when I was with that crazy dude. But I was like, Anywho, I know I said I was going to do another Diva Disturb, a full-fledged Diva Disturb, because, a lot has happened. Bill Cosby has been declared a mistrial. I mean, they got deadlocked. I mean, I thought this was an open and shut case, but I did not know that the woman that he allegedly sexually assaulted looked like a man. I mean, she's strong in the face. Like, she looked like everybody you think of. Somebody said Mick Jagger. First thing I saw, I said, this is Loud Love It Tease right here. And then one of my friends, Ken, talking about, well, hell, he pulled Julia Roberts. I was like, yeah, that's true. I forgot, who else did they say that woman looked like? But either way, I'm like, even if he did sexually assault her, Bill Cosby eyesight was probably going in, so he probably didn't know. To him, she probably looked like Julia Roberts or somebody. I don't know. But either way, it's a mistrial. The prosecutor says he does intend to retry this. I don't know if Bill Cosby can survive another trial. Maybe he can. Maybe he's indifferent to it now. I mean, the man is almost 80 years old. He's had a stellar career. He's done a lot of good things in the community, regardless of what you think of him as his personal life goes. But at the same time, some of these people, I'm just like, you sure you were sexually assaulted? And then others, I'm like, yeah, that probably happened. It's true. Probably true. But this particular woman, I was just, oh, she's strong in the face. I said, ooh, I was like, Bill must have had that glaucoma. I know that's not what he really has, but I call it glaucoma. There's some sort of degenerative eye disease that is hereditary in his family that he has, that has caused him to be declared legally blind. But the prosecutors say they want to retry it. I have not had time to research the extent of what happened with Philando Castile's trial, but I do know that on yesterday I was so emotional and so angry and sad all at the same time because of the miscarriage of justice. And I was also even further angered because in Tulsa, as you know, help me, I can't remember his name, but Becky Shelby, the woman who murdered the man whose car was broke down, and they tried to make accusations about the fact that he had PCP or he was high on PCP or whatever. That's besides the point. She was afraid. I am so tired of these officers hiding behind a badge and then claiming that they're afraid. Maybe being a police officer is not for you because that job is dangerous every day. You are a walking, talking, moving target. Even if you don't see a black person, you never know who is going to sit there and try to blow your brains out. It happens. But for you to be approaching a suspect with a firearm and you just immediately start popping off shots and murdering them in cold blood, that's a problem. But Becky Shelby essentially is having what I think is called a kill party. So, you know, she got off in Tulsa. Word on the street is that she wants to have a meet and greet with other law enforcement officers. What you meeting and greeting for? Did you write a book about how I killed a Negro on the streets of Tulsa? I mean, what the fuck would you need to have a damn meet and greet for? Okay. And then as for Philando Castile, his mother, I mean, the emotion, I was like, girl, you need to go ahead and just get out there and become a revolutionary, because the revolution will not be televised. She was like, that was my firstborn. He loved this state. He had a tattoo of the state with the city, I guess the city's lettering or whatever. And this very state murdered him. And she says, we're supposed to be evolving, but instead we are devolving. And I was like, that's so true. It's almost like, she said, hell, I wonder if we're in like 1969. I was like, hell, let's take it back further than that. Let's say 1959. Is that what we're living in? But one of the things I'm always reminded of is how law enforcement even got started in this country was due to runaway slaves. And one of the things that I've said about that is that we can leave the plantation, but we never really leave the plantation. Okay. So they will always come for us, people of color, because we got away. Paul Mooney talks about it. He said that, you know, there was a time when they wanted us in our bed, but now that we done got away, they don't even want us in their own neighborhoods. So it's very disconcerting, miscarriage of justice. But as I always say, the people who do evil, they will get theirs this side or the other. Okay, so don't think that the officers who are getting away with murdering our young men and young women in the streets are going to get away with it. You know, just vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So we have to keep that in mind. You see, George Zimmerman's life ain't been the same. Yeah, he be out and about, but his life ain't what it used to be before he murdered that young man, Trayvon. So, you know, the dude in Cleveland that murdered Tamir Rice, he don't have a job anymore as far as I know. At least he don't have one in law enforcement. He might be able to be private security, but he does not have a job. Even if it's not for those particular instances, trust, justice will always be served. What goes around comes around. So, but yesterday, I just went, all I could do was sit there and cry. And I don't even know this man, but it hurt me so much to see his mom sit there. And she was strong, but you could hear the hurt and pain about her son, her firstborn. And he was such a good dude. You know, the kids loved him. He was a role model. Philando Castile was awesome. I don't think that they've tried the people that murdered Alton Sterling, though. Because remember, their murders happened around the same time. But either way, y'all, we live in strange times. I mean, we have an orange man, an Oompa Loompa that's our president. We have an administration that can't even really administer because they're too busy being investigated for collusion with a foreign entity, a foreign country, in order to aid him in winning the election. It is a sad day when you have to hear about everybody in your administration has to lawyer up, including the lawyers who are helping you during your administration. I mean, what kind of shit is that? But these are strange times, so all I can tell you is to stay prayed up and just continue to hope for the best and have faith. But that's all I've got. This is, I guess we're going to call this a Diva Disturbed number 52. I just wanted to touch on that. But for Philando Castile's case, I'll probably revisit that because I wanted to look to see what if anything, what details about the evidence that was presented. I just don't understand how you could look at a video and not see that that was not manslaughter. I mean, at the very least, manslaughter. I mean, yeah, you couldn't get him for first-degree murder. You couldn't get him for second-degree murder, but you could get him for manslaughter. Come on now. And then on top of that, it's just really weird how you went for him because he had a nose that looked like a suspect you were actually looking for. What kind of sense that made? Anywho, let me get off of here because I'm tired. I've had a great time. I just came back in from, well, not just came back in, but I'm still detoxing. I know people at the party probably like, she's very antisocial. No, I just don't know a lot of people here. And plus, I am not a great dancer. I am one of the rhythmless wonders. And, yeah. I told one girl, I said, it would be safe for me to stay sitting down. But then they started playing like 90s music, like the Humpty Dance and Crisscross and Make You Jump Jump and DMX. Then I got loose in. I didn't, but before that I was like, I'm just gonna sit here because I don't want to embarrass the host, and she be looking like AJ can't come back to the party no more because Diva almost knocked everybody out with her wild dance, and I'm just saying. But anyway, it was a fun. It makes me wish that I was back home sooner than later. It reminds me of being home in Dallas sometimes, having the backyard jams. And not a lot of people have backyards in California. If they do, we all be hopping in a square. Everybody can't be out there at the same time, just hop in a square. But these older neighborhoods in LA, like West Adams, Inglewood, Compton, all that, you can definitely have that. But anywho, thank you guys who are tuning in. I see quite a few of you have tuned in. Let's see who. Felicia, Marlise, happy birthday, Marlise. Mike, William, Rosemary, Shantavia, Shane, Donald, and Narge. Thank you all for joining. Have a great night. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva, and you have been all that.